Hi, my name is Lucia Veracruz from allfrommoms.com, and for those of you who don't know me, I help moms overcome emotional and binge eating. And in today's training video, I'm going to talk about how to manage our emotions in order to stop overeating. So make sure you stay until the end of the video to really make the most out of this training. So let's start by understanding what is emotional eating and why do we overeat. Emotional eating is defined as a propensity to eat in response to positive and negative emotions. For most of us, it is easy to decide when, what or how much to eat. However, often there is a disconnection between what we know we should do and what we end up doing. We may have all the relevant information, however, our decisions and actions are often influenced by our feelings instead of physical hunger. People of any shape and sizes who struggle to cope with their emotions will try and suppress their feelings by eating large amounts of food even when they are not hungry, or by obsessing about their weight. And here are the most common behaviors that emotional eaters share. They eat when they are stressed, they eat when, even though they are not hungry, they have these intense urges to overeat, they eat fast, they prefer to eat alone so nobody sees, they numb their feelings with food, and they don't feel any satisfaction after finishing a meal. Whether or not you are doing any of these behaviors, it is also important to understand the difference between subjective and objective overeating. Subjective overeating involves feeling or thinking that we ate too much because we overindulge, for example, over Christmas or at parties or during holidays. And objective overeating is when we eat an insane amount of food in one sitting and we have no ability to control ourselves. And objective overeating is often linked with our emotions and our lack of ability to manage them. So the first step to overcoming emotional eating would be to trying to reconnect to our true self, the true self that we were before we started this never-ending vicious cycle of binging and dieting. Remember the days when you were a child and you could just eat the right amount of food at the right time, and you knew exactly what to eat without having to follow any rules, restrictions or diets, and then just go back to playing and not give food a second thought? But that is ultimately the place where we want to be. We want to connect to that self that we were before we started obsessing about food, our weight and ourselves. So how do we do that? We start by being really present and asking the right questions just at the moment when the urges to overeat arise. So we can think about what emotions are we feeling right now, and what emotions are we trying to suppress or numb with food, and how else could we manage these emotions without having to reach for food. Before we figure out how to manage these feelings, let's look at what emotions are and how we can label them. Emotions are brief signals that deliver a valuable message to guide us, to help us take appropriate action in certain situations by making changes in a brain that will initiate a change of behavior. And that is why our actions are often influenced by our feelings and our emotions. And so if we suppress and numb them with food, we are often not able to respond to these emotions appropriately. And here are the strategies that I use to help me manage my emotions instead of having to numb them with food. When I feel angry, I would yell if I'm by myself, or I go for a walk, or I do deep breathing. When I am tired, I make sure I get some rest, or I try and relax. When I am sad, I can call a friend or go for a walk. When I'm bored, I think of some fun activities that I could do by myself or with the kids. When I am hurt, I communicate my feelings. Or when I am stressed, I think about the facts rather than my predictions of what might or might not happen, and think about ways of solving these problems that are causing me to feel stressed. So once I was able to manage my emotions in an appropriate way, my urges to overeat have reduced dramatically. And that is why trying to beat emotional eating with extreme dieting and endless hours of exercising is probably the worst thing that we can do. Dieting has a 95% failure rate, and it will only make us think and obsess about food more, which will then lead to more overeating and more binging. And doing endless hours of exercises to try and make up for all the food that we have eaten is a race we are never going to win. All this will do will put our body in a stressful state, increasing our cortisol level, which will reduce our ability to digest the food properly and turn it into energy because we are in survival mode. What we really need to do is focus on nourishing our body with nutritious food that will satisfy us and increasing the activities that we really enjoy doing in order to have more positive emotions and experience joy. Being present and mindful in a state of freedom will help us make better food choices with ease instead of being in a state of constant fear, punishment and guilt, which only lead to more pain and overeating. So I really hope that you found this information useful and that you will be able to implement some of these strategies into your own life. However, if you need more help and support, you can click on a link below where you can access the free training video that I have prepared, where I outline the 4 proven system steps to help you achieve freedom from food and balance in every area of your life. And if you like this video, click on the like button or subscribe for more helpful tips on how to overcome emotional and binge eating. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more training videos on how to overcome emotional eating and achieve balance forever.